So, Bernadette, you're more than welcome.
Thank you very much. I actually persuaded this fellow Tyrone man to hold an umbrella, but he wouldn't put it up. He said, it's a sign of weakness to see a Tyrone man with an umbrella up in the rain. That's the way we make them. I'm very honoured to be on the platform today, more or less by chance, because I was in the city yesterday doing my bit for Sean and People Before Profit, doing a bit of campaigning and getting that vote out. So I just want to nail my colours till the mast here since I'm passing. But I'm very honoured to then have had the opportunity. My services, I think, were volunteered while I was distracted by drinking a glass of red wine last night. My services were volunteered by Betty Doherty, who organises everything. And thank you very much for the invitation to speak. On this particular May Day, when there is no doubt if God exists that he is definitely a capitalist and will need to be dealt with when the time comes. I think that we have to, all of us, be aware that we are in the depth of a political, social, economic and cultural crisis of a generation. And we need to know that's where we are. You know, we need to positively register that all the things that are happening just aren't not fair, just aren't not just, and just aren't things that are happening in isolation. I've been saying for some time, as have other socialists and progressives, that we are living through an era of a hard global turn to the right. And the strongest weapon that we as working people, because not all members of the working class are waged workers, but the only real weapon of power that we as a working class global community have is that nothing in the world works except us. Everything else that works because we make it work. We make it work. These fancy paving stones did not put themselves down there. The council didn't put them down there. People with their own two hands led them. This city only works because the people in it work. And the day we all simultaneously stop working, the only thing that will actually continue to move will be the world itself. And that is an awesome amount of power that we do not realise, that consciously realise that we have. Because if we did, it's near time we were using it.
Yes!
Near time we were using it. And we see strikes beginning, we see strikes beginning to develop. And we see our colleagues in the teaching profession in the schools, whether they be teachers or classroom assistants. We see our people in the public services, whether they be council workers, whether they be disposing of the garbage, whether they be opening the pools, whether people are education welfare officers, everybody fighting their wee corner. But there has to come a time when the trade union movement itself has a degree of unity that is displayed sometime during the year other than May Day.
Yes.
Because the only way any of us are going to get anything is when the bin men, the teachers, the classroom associates, the voluntary sector workers, the care workers, when we all go on strike on the same day.
Yes.
And when we all stop apologising for the fact we have withdrawn our own labour. I see teachers being pilloried, guilt-tripped, because children with special needs can't go to school because the teachers are on strike. And I see poor teachers trying to explain to the media that they're not bad people and that they do care about children. Why are we doing that? Why are we playing that game? Why are we trying to say to people, don't think badly of us? Here's what I'm going to say. This is my labour. Don't forget that. This is my labour. I appreciate that's your child, but this is my labour. And I can't work for the wages I get because I can't feed my child on the wages I get.
Yes!
And what I need you as a parent of a child with special needs to do is stand in solidarity alongside me.
Yes!
So that together we as working people can look after each other and our children and our neighbours. So we as essential workers, and I'm one of them, I get up every morning, except this morning it was Betty Doherty's fault. No, that's my own fault. I get up every morning at 6:30 and I'm in my work at 8:30 and I'm there till 5:30. Working on the front line, and I can tell you, working people out there have no more room to give. Wages every week for the average worker, not the poorest worker, not the least well paid worker, the average worker is at this point insufficient to keep the average family fed, clothed, safe, warm and dry. It's the middle of the 21st century. It is, for now, still the United Kingdom. We are in a rich country. We are on a rich set of islands. There is no such thing as there is no money. Money doesn't actually exist. The government makes it. The government turns it out. Money is a token by which we get paid for our labour. We hand it over. It's the same as coloured beads. It only has the value we created. And the value is based on our labour. So don't tell us there's no money. If there's no money, there'll be no work. It's time we had that kind of conversation, because we are suddenly called essential workers. That name was invented. We always knew we were essential. Every worker is essential. But we used to be called low-paid workers. Now we have to get rid of that. That's a bad word. Flattery will not fill stomachs.
Yes.
So I don't care what you call people who exchange their labour for the means to live. But we are in a generation where our labour has been sold so cheaply, institutionally, systemically, and we accept it, that somehow or another we have to do without, in a country that has millionaires, in a city that has millionaires. And we have to recognise our place in the world. Every single penny of surplus money, every single penny of profit that exists in this city belongs to the people whose labour produced it. And unless we start putting people before profit, and not be talking silly talk like people first or second or where you want them in the queue. People before profit is what trade unions should be about, is what politics should be about. Because working people are the sole creators of what those who hold power call profit. Our demands, most modest, are we want our money back. Thank you.